Okay, it is 6:19. Apologies to all who have been waiting. On October the 10th, 2023, this is the meeting of the Conservation Commission and Inland Wetland Agency of Norwalk, Connecticut. Could we have roll call, please?
Absolutely. Heather Breslin,
Here.
Ed Holinko, Cheryl Brown,
Here.
and Steve Clack.
Here. Is there anyone online who is from the public and wants to comment on something other than the applications that are on our agenda tonight?
So if you are an attendee and would like to speak on anything other than a pending application that's on the agenda tonight, use the raise your hand feature. But I don't believe there are.
Great. Moving on to discussion and or decision, S23-626, 199 Newtown Avenue.
Okay. I think Dean Martin is here. So the last application, which was one meeting removed from the receipt of the application, Mr. Martin had reviewed some of the new information submitted in advance of the last meeting. And Dean, I know that you emailed me a wetland assessment report from Matt Pop today, and have not yet had a chance to read that. But Dean, if you want to give just a recap.
Okay, for the record, Dean Martin, Grumman Engineering. Yes, at the last meeting, there were a couple of outstanding items. One being a report by a qualified wetland specialist on the wetlands. And the second item outstanding was the determination of the flood elevation within the property, just to make sure that our proposed building was actually going to be able to be built as we had designed it. And I did receive a report, which as Alexis noted, I emailed to her this afternoon, a report from Matt Pop with a analysis of the wetland area, the wetlands on the site, and the proposed development. I am still working on the FEMA or the flood elevations. I anticipated those being done today. I didn't get it finished, so they certainly will be done for the next meeting, but they are not ready today to be submitted. I think everything else that had been discussed in the initial staff report had been addressed previously.
Okay. So we maybe will, unless the commissioners have a question for Mr. Martin tonight, we will wait for the forthcoming documentation before doing anything with this application. Okay. Nobody else has any questions, or, I mean, I'm just glancing at the new documents, the revised planting plan and revised site plan. Okay, I don't have anything to add, so we will just move forward with the agenda and expect to hear or discuss this project in 2 weeks, hopefully.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dean. Moving along to S23-628, 779 and 789 Connecticut Avenue.
So you held a public hearing on this application at your last meeting. It opened and closed at your September 26th meeting. There was a bit of discussion. There's a presentation by the applicant and then some discussion. I sent you a staff report that does include a draft resolution of approval with conditions earlier today. I tried to incorporate all the concerns that you had discussed previously. It does include, back up, a a condition to revisit the removal of the retaining wall that is currently the eastern bank of the 5 Mile River. I pretty much for that condition took the applicant's response to comments verbatim. The other special conditions would include just photo documentation, a performance bond focused on sedimentation erosion controls, and the planting establishment of the buffer. The special condition number 3 addresses looking into removal of the wall. 4 is just a standard condition whenever there is a former commercial site and there's a lot of digging, just to confirm that any wastewater discharge is not contaminated or polluted. And that they install the S&E controls as per the plans. They establish a wetland buffer as per the plans. It clarifies that the buffer be a natural vegetated state, and gives an ideal for the lack of non-native invasive species. Has the project wrap up within two years once they start regulated activities, and then the rest is pretty self-explanatory. So this is up for discussion. You have 35 days from the close of the public hearing to make a decision. So you can make a decision tonight. If you feel it's warranted, you can continue to discuss tonight and plunge to your next meeting, but your deadline to make a decision is by the next meeting. I know that the applicant has a public hearing coming up for their site plan approval process in front of planning and zoning. I think before the 24th.
So there's no reason why we can't make a decision tonight, in my estimation. And it benefits the applicant for us to have resolved this before they go before P&Z in 2 weeks, or within the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
Do any commissioners have questions about the draft resolution, or is it? Yeah, draft resolution.
Oh.
Okay.
Heather, do you have?
I don't think so. I was just looking at number 4 because you said it was the language, and I was just wondering if there was anything standard language, if there was anything in there specifically about the treatment like the related to the treatment that they're doing, but I don't.
Oh, right. So number 4 would just be for during construction dewatering. So not their long-term stormwater management plan, but during construction, any
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
just a during construction.
Got it. I missed a key phrase in there.
Dewatering is always keeping a construction site dry, is what dewatering.
Right.
Got it.
And number 3, I mean, does that have enough teeth? So if it is agreed that the removal of the wall is practical and beneficial, the permittee will commence the steps to obtain the necessary permits, with the first filing within 3 months of the decision to remove the wall. I mean, they're going to commence the steps, but
yeah, I mean, I think it's very hard to, since there will be multiple permits required. I think it's a little hard to require more than that. So you can't kind of presume Army Corps or deep approval, but that they would. I mean, I don't see why the permittee or the applicant would go through to make a permit application there's a lot of expense of, you know, time and money that goes into making an application, so I don't know why they would, I don't see any reason why they would make an application that they didn't feel would be successful. So, you know, I think it's a fine line between,
All right, I defer to your judgment. I mean, the soft costs typically are a fraction of the hard costs of any sort of project, so if it meant that we go away and never have to bother them again, I mean, it's, you know,
Sure.
let's throw a few tens of thousands of dollars at it and then, you know. But if you think this is if this is reasonable and the most that we can expect, then I am not going to object to it. So in that, on that note, then, oh, Heather's gonna say something.
Nope.
Okay, so on
Just
that note,
breathing.
then I would move to approve the draft or resolution dated today, October 10th, for S23-628 as written. Do I have a
I'll
second?
second that.
Any discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
4-0. Approved. All right, I'm going to move to adjust the agenda because we're half an hour before our public hearing on 91 Witch Lane. And we cannot discuss, or it doesn't make sense to discuss or decide on 91 Witch Lane. So I would move to bump ahead to approval of meetings. I'm sorry, approval of minutes for meeting minutes. Any seconds?
Sure, second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Sweet. Okay, did anyone read the September 26th meeting minutes?
I did. I didn't see any issues with it off the top of my head.
And
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from September 26th.
wonderful. Be happy to second that. Any discussion? I'm sorry, no. None? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Heather? You
Oh,
approve your own
aye.
motion, you vote for your own
Yes,
motion, right?
sorry, yep, thought it was Ply, right, forget that.
Okay, nope. Okay, moving on to conservation initiatives. Alexis, there shall be no sheepishness or apologizing because you offered to do what we weren't able to do ourselves, so.
Yes, and
That's
I
good
started it, but I haven't finished it. So it's my
Okay, well-
intention to get it to you today, but
mm,
not much has worked out in my work life
Okay,
in the last few days.
Hmm.
fine. I don't know about the rest of you, but it's just completely crazy right now, busy wise, so for me at least. Okay, does anybody have any new thoughts on what I'm sure you all assume we're talking about, which is the zoning rewrite? No? Okay,
So the next meeting will have a draft letter to review.
thank you. Heather? You can't do when you lean ahead with your mouth
Because
half
I have
open,
a
and
question, I'm
you're
trying to,
sorry.
I'm trying to think my thoughts through before actually articulating them.
Who does that?
Well, it's been recommended to me that I start.
Oh, yeah. You know, I've heard that too.
Funny.
Huh.
I had more of a question about I mean, we're waiting for the public hearing, right?
Right.
Yeah,
So,
we got half an hour.
right. So you can have discussion or you
Let's
can
discuss. We've got time. Let's
you
pitch.
or you can do a recess.
Oh. Well, I don't want to stop everybody from that. I just had a question about zoning, but I don't have to voice
Please,
it now.
please.
All right. So specifically for areas that are zoned for commercial in Norwalk, I forget what zone that is, like the corridors. I was just curious what the flexibility, I suppose, is with that. In other words, when I think about the long term of Norwalk, right? If I think about how many shopping mall centers and all of that are starting to become empty. And are starting to, we're not, they're either dilapidated or all of that. And so my, curiosity just goes to, I mean, I would love to one day turn those places back into open space, but I just don't know what, I'm just curious about how the zoning speaks to that at all, or if it does, or if it's only allowed to be one thing permanently, or,
Um, so the question would be, so if you had a property within your, like your urban core, your CD5 or CD4,
yes.
C. CD4C is the along Connecticut Avenue, for example.
That's exactly, yeah, that there, yes.
Okay, so you would go to the chart. I think I know the answer, but I might as well go to the.
Honestly, this is something I'm thinking out loud, and I'm not, I've thought about in the past, and I'm just curious how that plays into, like, looking at the future, I want to make sure we don't rule anything out in any zoning plan.
Right.
Alexis, can you
Yeah,
share
so
your
I'm
screen?
pretty sure it doesn't. What's that?
Would you mind
I'm,
sharing your screen if you?
Yes, once it's loading. There's nothing to see at the moment. But,
Yes, if I win that nearly $2 billion Powerball, now you know where my plans are. So
Is it too late to buy a ticket?
it's not, it's tomorrow, it's drawing.
I'm not gonna
Let's see.
ask how many tickets you bought either.
I bought two exactly, and one was a pool with Peter and Marie, so.
let's see if this will get us there. So
And also,
within,
if this is a stupid question, just tell me that, because I really don't know.
no question is a bad question.
Steve would tell
Okay,
me.
so I'm in Article 4, which describes the
Yeah,
all the zones, and so CD4C is what's Long Connecticut Ave, if I remember right. And you go down to
there we go. Interesting.
okay, so civic space types applicable only to development parcels. So
Right.
so a development parcel is different. A capital D development parcel is different than a parcel that's getting developed. It's see table 5, 2, 3. Let's see. We're getting into more than I know. So if you go to, so development parcels are, well, let's see where to go. Are, let's see if,
Control F.
I
Oh,
know
no,
it's
you got
not letting me, I think it's so slow. I'm doing Control F, but it's not, oh, there it goes. let's go down to D. Oop,
There you go. Oh,
okay,
okay.
so a development parcel is either alone or together with one or more other parcels of a common development scheme, 7.5 acres or more gross acres.
Okay.
So it's, I believe that what we were reading, and I can confirm this for the next meeting. That there is then 5 to. Oh, wait, and so this goes to that Article 5, which is all about the
Defining
development
those.
parcels.
Mm.
I will confirm that I understand what this means.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what, so the zone C E 497535 CBXYZ,
Right,
whatever the corridor. This applies to only the large, like is that what you're saying? This is
I
the,
think so. I
okay,
think that that's what the civic space types, that this is applicable only to development parcels. And that doesn't mean that you couldn't have these within this zone, but I will confirm
okay,
that.
okay.
Um,
Because otherwise it's just a what? If
right,
it's not, a parcelette.
right. Parcelette. That is a very good question.
Okay. This bears nothing on anything, I look towards the future of stuff and the trend that we see right now, right?
Right,
And
right.
it just, what do you do? I just, what do you do with that space?
Okay,
Okay,
I
thanks.
will confirm.
Thanks for humoring me.
Yes.
Thanks for taking that tangent of a walk with me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it only relates to development parcels, but I will confirm.
Okay.
Okay,
Steve, what you got? Anything over there?
more, no, I don't
Uh,
have anything, no. Nothing to add other than we've got 2 4-year-olds and a toddler that just walked in, so I'm hoping they don't crash in. My sister and her family are visiting, so I escaped them for a few minutes, but they're back, so FYI. All right, we still have 18 more minutes until public hearing, which I don't expect to go very long anyway. If no one else has conservation initiatives that they'd like to discuss, we can just move on with the agenda to comments of staff.
No, I don't really have any. Just been very busy. We have issued a few, I think 4 violations since we last met, and so we're working on those. And then we've been busy with a bunch of other non-wetland related stuff, but yeah, just relatively busy. Strange that we haven't received any applications in the last 2 weeks for applications that come to you. We certainly have been processing declaratory rulings, minor permits, but just interesting. But other than that, no, I don't have anything exciting to report.
Okay.
So
Okay. Anybody have questions for Alexis? No? Okay. Comments of commissioners? I love how it says report of the commission chair.
Mm.
Anybody know about the AMOC? You know what that is? AMOC? Atlantic Meridional something current.
It's a
Atlantic
current.
Meridional overturning circulation. It's basically the ocean current they call the energy conveyor belt that, for example, draws warm air up the East Coast from the Caribbean.
Mhm.
It goes up to ice or Greenland, gets cold, drops, changes salinity, and then circles back around. And
I heard
hmm?
I heard it's change. I heard something about this, how it's changing or something, so that
Cooling
now,
down.
yeah.
So the AMOC is a muck.
Ooh, I can't believe I haven't seen that actually on a headline yet. That's nice. Yes, the AMOC is potentially a muck.
Mm.
Anyway, that has caught my attention lately. That doesn't really have any bearing whatsoever. I'm just kind of killing time. We still have 15 minutes. So do people want to take a recess? Is there something proactive we can do? I mean, we can always get back to conservation initiatives. The zoning rewrite is not the only conservation topic we can discuss. I mean, there's been a cry from the public for more attention paid to a public space inventory and acquiring more public spaces, etc. Open space, sorry, not public space, open space.
Huh, that's weird. Weird timing. That I
But yeah, I
asked.
mean, yeah, I recall something about 10 minutes ago. We talked about that a little bit. Cheryl, Ed, thoughts, feelings? You want to take a 14-minute break, or do you want to just listen to Heather and I bat stuff back and forth? Heather's just looking for more places to forage, just so you all know.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
If there's not mushrooms or nuts or other sort of edible flowers and whatever happening,
Making some
useless to
autumn
Heather.
olive jam as we speak because I try to eat the invasives.
What olive jam?
Excellent.
Autumn olive or Russian.
Autumn
I have both autumn and Russian olives that I found, which are invasive species.
Well, I'd be
done.
up for a quick recess.
Okay. So,
Wow.
That did it, didn't it?
So-
That was it.
No,
That was the end of
no,
it.
Wow, Heather.
no, me.
wow, Cheryl, that
Foraging
was
is
harsh.
very cool. There's I saw a speaker a couple of years ago and she wrote a book and I have it, but I've never used it. It was a recipe book on foraging.
Oh, nice.
So
It was
again,
very
Heather, you're a
interesting.
weirdo.
I've never quieted a conversation that quickly. Like I need a recess. This is,
All right, and that's
I
just
was
like
running
you're all
late.
nuts.
I was gonna grab a drink, not like a
Yes.
non-alcoholic beverage.
Really, listening to Heather makes me want to drink sometimes too.
All right. So,
All right, so
Yeah.
do we need a
I'm
motion,
gonna,
Alexa? Oh.
No, so you're on a recess. You can just mute yourselves and then come back at 7 and we'll start the public hearing.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Ed, how are you doing?
Yeah, doing all right.
Staying busy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You staying busy?
Okay, good.
How did you get involved, if you don't mind me asking, with the Switch Tower Museum?
I don't remember. We had friends down there. So, we just kind of joined maybe about 20 years ago.
Really? Wow. Neat.
So most of the people are FRNs down there.
What's that?
Most of the people are FRNs. It's a term the women came up with. And the polite term is friendly rail nuts. And so you can take it from there. But,
Okay, got it.
yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah, we had our chapter picnic this weekend up in Mine Dock Park up by Bear Mountain. So we're just sitting there all afternoon watching trains go by.
Neat.
Yeah.
Train nuts.
Yeah. Friendly.
Hmm. Friendly.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best kind of train nut to have,
Yeah, that's right.
or to be. Right. 7 o'clock. We're still recording. I think we can start a public hearing for Conti's S23-627. We've got several dozen people who have called in and wanted to give you their opinions on this property and just any opinions in general. So we're going to take them one at a time. So no, Alexis, what's the most expedient way to do this?
So right, you don't have any attendees. Maybe wait a few more minutes, but so I'll just go through some very basic procedural things. It is a public hearing on a significant regulated activity. Legal notice of the hearing was published in the hour twice. I believe that the applicant has sent me the notice, proof of mailing of notice to the abutting property owners. So it was duly noticed that there would be a public hearing commencing this evening at 7 p.m. The crowds should be rolling in any minute. No, I guess, I mean, the applicant could maybe do like literally a 5-minute review of the proposed plans as revised. And then at the end of that 5 minutes, if there's still no public comment, the commissioners can make sure that you don't have any further questions for the applicant. Just a reminder that once the public hearing is closed, that's it for the record. And there's after that, there's no going out to the site, and there's no communicating with the applicant or asking for any additional information. So it's my 2 cents. Does that make sense to you, Steve?
I say it makes wonderful sense, and John, I think you should take it away.
Okay, so for the record, John Conti, can you guys all hear me?
We see and hear you.
Okay, I'm the applicant, the homeowner, the civil engineer. My dad, John Sr. is here as my landscape architect. Let me share my screen. Okay, as you all, can you see my screen, this PDF here?
Yes.
Yes.
As you all remember, this is my property. This is 91 Witch Lane. There's an existing house in the back here. There's a driveway that runs north-south, cutting through sort of this, there's wetland here, wetland pocket here. This is Witch Lane running east-west. Here is a sort of easier to digest rendering of existing conditions. You can see this is the driveway, house in the back. Let's see, as you remember, we came in with an application that went through a wetland pocket to the west. It had some site walls. We had a little retaining wall here close to this eastern wetland pocket. And then after hearing some of your initial comments, we revised that plan. We got rid of this wall. We revised the driveway to be out of the wetlands. We removed this retaining wall, replaced it with boulder demarcation, and did grading instead of a wall. And we lowered a bunch of these grades, right? We lowered these grades so there's less fill in this area, no walls, no excavation for walls. And instead of having fill here, we sloped up more gradually and put a walkway with stairs here to get up to this first floor elevation. This is like a cleaner look of that same plan. We also added a substantial amount of plantings. We had like a meadow buffer. I think one of the comments was putting a buffer between this maintained lawn area and the wetland pocket. So we have like a meadow grasses buffer here, and then a bunch of native plantings. Same thing on this side. We put a bunch of native plantings and some screening trees here between the neighboring property. As you remember, I don't know if I mentioned, this portion of 91 Witch Lane is to be conveyed to 93 Witch Lane, and the property line gets revised to be sort of like this here. Let's see. This is a more clean version of the planting plan. Was that under 5 minutes? Someone have a stopwatch? That's the spark notes. I'm happy to expand on any points you guys might have questions on, or answer any questions you might have.
That was beautiful.
Okay, so you still don't have any attendees. So I don't believe that you have any public comment on this application. So it's really just a matter of whether you have any questions for the applicant. And then if not, you can close the hearing.
Commissioners, do you have any questions?
No questions for me.
No,
¿Tienes preguntas?
Yeah.
No?
I think the revisions are great that they made for us the last time.
Agreed.
Agreed. Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Conti, and I will probably move to close the public hearing. Can I have a second on that?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Okay. That closes the public hearing. That was a contentious one. So let's move on to decision and or discussion and or decision on S23-627 91 Witch Lane. We don't have a draft memorandum as far as I'm aware, do we?
Sadly, no.
So I think if it's okay with you, John, we'll wait until 2 weeks from now to officially approve the plan, so we can have the resolution in writing.
Okay.
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
it's risky to, unless Alexis has been diligently on the side drafting
Not this
memorandum
time.
to approve.
I've tried that before.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
no.
Okay. Well,
Whatever the process is, that's fine with me, of course.
okay. Yeah, I don't, commissioners, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't hear any questions, objections, or even inklings of dissatisfaction. So really it's just a paperwork thing where Alexis will draft a memorandum with conditions that involves bonds and, timing and things like that. And we've got a meeting lined up on the 24th. And assuming the commissioners don't creep in late and scare the heck out of Alexis like they did this week, and I'm not pointing the finger at anyone but myself, It should, we should be able to get you going.
Okay, great. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time and coming together
Quick,
for this.
quick question. Do you think, do I need to attend that next meeting?
No, so you don't. And so actually, so, yeah. So actually, technically, we shouldn't really be talking to either of them since the public hearing is closed. So
Ah.
neither of you,
Right.
you haven't gotten into anything too much. So no, you don't.
We don't need to attend. Okay.
No.
All right. Thank you.
But I do appreciate timely, seasonal timeliness of the address.
An
Yeah.
applicant, you won't get an invitation for the next meeting, but you can log in through the website. Just to-
Okay,
Just to warn
very
you.
good. Thank you. Okay,
Okay.
good night all.
Good night.
Me
Thank
too.
you.
Okay, commissioners and senior environmental officer. Being as there's nothing else on our agenda, I'm going to move to adjourn and apologize for completely forgetting about the meeting tonight. When I'm on vacation, I am on vacation. Like
That is good.
nothing
It's
exists.
I
Well,
will. Pick that
Well,
if-
I
if
was
it-
late too, so
Yeah, it was
apologies
all-
there.
If
well, if
any
you're
of you
stuck
know
in traffic, that's
anyone
one
that
thing.
wants to serve, I was gonna say,
What's
if
that?
anyone knows anyone that would like to be on the Conservation Commission, just have them reach out to me, and then they would, after that, try to let them know what they might be getting into. I'd have them reach out to the mayor, so if you know anyone.
Okay. Steve, don't worry, I'll spare you the guilt trip that I was saying before that I managed to drive back from Vermont and make it in time for the meeting.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
No,
I won't
I-
spare you.
you're not actually entirely sparing me from it.
No,
I
I'm
feel
not.
it actually. At least just a little
And-
bit.
Just as a heads up, I cannot attend the next meeting. I'm not available.
Okay,
It's officially
So-
documented. Yeah.
TV,
Yeah,
no October 24th.
yeah,
Alright.
sorry.
Oh,
No, it's knowing in advance is
Okay,
perfect.
okay.
all right.
All right.
Okay, so I will move to adjourn. Can I have a second?
Second,
Cheryl, got it. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
aye.
You, us. Good night.
All right,
night,
good
all.
night. Thanks,
Take care.
everyone. Bye.